Big Walk is a walking and supposedly talking simulation game. A game that, from the looks of its recent in-game screenshots, is a little unorthodox, to say the least. For what it's worth, it's being created by House, a team that, to anyone in the know, has a record of releasing rather odd video games, with Untitled Goose Game being the first port of call for the mainstream. Suffice to say, their next project isn't going to be any less exciting or quirky, for that matter. So expect all the usual trimmings and oddities, to boot. From what we've gathered so far, Big Walk will allow multiple players to traverse a wide open-world setting and complete various challenges together. However, rather than allowing each player the option to communicate as a team, each character will need to both manifest and create new methods to communicate using whatever objects they can facilitate. So, don't expect a walk in the park, basically. If there is a story, which there most definitely isn't, given the fact that the game is essentially a giant sandbox for players to roam around and wreak havoc in, then House is doing a pretty good job at keeping it hidden. However, it seems the bulk of the narrative will be set around the antics that each player develops on their own terms. In other words, there probably won't be any linear progression, but rather the freedom to create your own adventure. House describes the game as a walker-talker, which means we can expect plenty of custom scenarios and co-op-based shenanigans. As a team, players will need to utilize a proximity voice chat system to connect with other users in order to complete environmental puzzles and overcome various set pieces in an open-world setting. It's doubtful that there will be any major plot points to unravel, though from the looks of it, there will be numerous surprises in store for those looking to unearth them. The question is, will you have the patience to stick around long enough to reap the rewards? Set out with your friends through a wide open world full of challenges, puzzles, and discoveries. You'll need to work together to find your way around, stay in contact using an assortment of tools and toys, and figure out new ways to communicate when you suddenly find yourself speechless. Adventuring aside, there's plenty of time to just hang out, sit and watch the sunset, or steal your friends' binoculars and kick them into the ocean. Spending time with friends is the best part of a Big Walk. House initially lifted the veil on Big Walk back at the Game Awards on December 7, 2023. Since making the formal announcement, the team has gone on to upload a batch of in-game screenshots, as well as a short but rather insightful gameplay trailer too. For those who don't know, House is an Australia-based indie studio that's currently made up of just 4 people: Nico Disseldorp, Jake Strasser, Stuart Gillespie-Cook, and Michael McMaster. Aside from Untitled Goose Game and Big Walk, the studio has also been responsible for Push Me Pull You, yet another quirky co-op platforming game that also went on to score critical acclaim across the board. Big Walk will be shaping up for a release on PC and iOS via Steam and the Epic Games Store at some stage in 2025. If there are any special editions in the pipeline, then we aren't likely to catch wind of them for quite some time yet. If we do happen to locate anything of the sort ahead of its release, then we'll be sure to give you a heads up a little closer to the time.